And welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, and welcome here to a video on Barcelona's defending, which has been a massive topic right throughout this season. And this isn't a negative video. It's not a video where I'm just going to be saying we can't defend, we're never going to get better. This is a video here looking at what we've done, looking at how this season has gone, looking at yesterday's game, and just dissecting what can we do to improve that. Because if we do improve that, like I've said before many times, we are on to something special, but we have to do that. We have to address the genuine flaws in our defence, and what today's video is going to be about is giving that some substance, looking at what we can do better, and analysing where those errors, and big ones too, where they come from. Because yesterday, guys, of course, I'm absolutely thrilled to get the 3 points. It was a difficult place to go, there's no doubt about that, and on their day, Getafe can cause problems to the biggest of teams. There's no doubt about that. It wasn't an easy game, and we did just about pass the test, but in doing so, we conceded yet another goal. We broke our streak of clean sheets. We thought our defence might be on the up, but it hasn't really worked out that way. We conceded far too many chances, clear-cut chances for Getafe, and the goal that we conceded was our 20th goal conceded in La Liga this season, which was 5 more goals, more than Getafe themselves, 7 more goals than Atletico Madrid, and only 3 less than struggling Real Madrid right now, who I think we all can agree are having an absolutely shambolic season. So that really isn't good reading on our front. We've got to do better, we've got to be tighter, and for me, it's all about intensity. And I'm going to explain in a number of ways why I feel like that, because when you talk about intensity, you often talk about the way your team approach the game, usually in an attacking aspect, when you go out there, when you close down your opposition, when you're putting in the work, when you're really concentrating hard, and just doing what it takes to get those goals and keep control in the big moments. But intensity also comes in your defensive play, and that is what I'm not seeing right now from this Barcelona team. And I'm not just talking about the back four here. When you're talking about the defence, you're talking about the entire structure of the team, the way that the team works, the way the team moves, the way the team moves into spaces. You have got to work as a team to defend solidly. You've got to have a unit, and you really do have to have a lot of cohesion right throughout your team, and that comes from the coach. Valverde has got to be on that training field, and he has got to be really making the players understand where they should be. This isn't about last gasp blocks or throwing a body on the line all the time. It's about being in the right place at the right time and knowing where you have to be to defend these kind of situations. And just to illustrate that point, what we're going to do here is look at where Getafe's goal came from yesterday. And this is just obviously one instance. This is something I think was happened right throughout the season so far. We do have a genuine problem in this area of the pitch, and it's not actually the final third. The problem is not really in this sector where the back four are. It's not really a concern. It's in the bit before that, between the halfway line and sort of halfway into the half. It's a real problem here in this kind of area. You look at where Antunes has the ball there. He's advancing in the pitch. He's moving into a danger zone, and what he's actually going to do here is whip a great ball in to the back post to Angel, who's going to get there before our defence do, and it ends up being a goal. But the problem is, you've got to stop that at source. It's not about stopping it here. It's not about the 2 centre-backs not doing their job, because our job as a midfield, as a team, as a structure, do not even let it get that far. We want to try and avoid our centre-backs, our defenders, doing as much work as we possibly can. Don't let it get that far. Stop it at the source. And that comes from our midfield. Now, Valverde has to make it absolutely clear it's Vidal's job here. It's Vidal's job to, when the ball is in this kind of area, he has to come across. He has to close down Antunes, and he's got to do it as quickly as he possibly can, which, as we're going to move on to, didn't really happen, because Roberto's out here, he's tied up with Portillo, that's absolutely fine, and usually we'll have cover from midfield. But the problem is, when those fullbacks go forward, where do we lie then? If Alba's forward, and you've got players there, and you've got overlaps then coming on the counter-attack, it's over to the midfield again to close down that space as quickly as they possibly can, or we leave ourselves really open at the back, because so much of our play goes through these fullbacks. They will go forward. Jordi Alba yesterday really struggled to get back. He was doing so well going forward, but again, you're looking for that defensive support, and I think Arthur actually yesterday did pretty well moving into those areas, stopping the attacks. But ultimately, it's about Ernesto Valverde on the training field saying to his players, look, you've got to work here, because the problem is, when you play 4-3-3, if you don't have that that intensity in your play, if you're not going out and closing people down, if you're not tracking runners, you've got a real problem. Simply because you cannot really rely on Messi to track back and avoid the 2-on-1 situations. Because if Vidal doesn't come across there, it's Sergio Roberto against Antunes and then Portillo on the overlap. Messi is not going to be back here, and likewise with Ousmane Dembele. It doesn't really happen. Maybe in the big games, but in the other games, it's not really going to happen consistently. So what you've got to do then is drill that midfield to know where they have to be. I'm not singling out Vidal, I'm not singling out Arthur, it's not specifically any player's fault, but I'm just saying Valverde has to make his ideas clear. He has to completely convince these players that every time they go out on that pitch, they have to apply that pressure, they've got to show that intensity in their game, or simply our defence will be left exposed. And with that said, we'll now move on to that goal from Getafe. And not only that goal as well, we're also going to look at some very clear-cut chances they did have and just break it down. But this is what I'm saying here. Sergio Roberto is focusing on Portillo. He can't really go and close down Antunes. So it's up to Vidal, who, to be fair to him, he does come across. But the problem is, it's not quick enough. It's not with that kind of intensity. He has to be a lot closer here to Antunes. He's not really closing down the ball there. That's a bit of a half effort. And to be fair, you can even see Messi here coming back, trying to help out. But what happens then? He doesn't get close enough. It's a great ball. You've got to give credit. But he simply picks out the man at the back post. He's coming in. It's a brilliant ball. And suddenly then, we are in big trouble. But when the ball actually reaches there, the back post, and it's played across, that's when I would say there has to be some criticism now coming to that defensive structure. Simply because I think Longley here, he can do better. Now, it's going to seem as though I'm singling Longley out, and it's only this game, but I really feel like in this moment, and a big moment as well later on in the game, he could do a lot better. It again seems a bit of a half effort. I don't think Longley doesn't want to get there, but I just think he doesn't quite want to get there enough. There has to be a lot more desire there and a will to go and get that ball, whatever it takes. You can see it here as it's moved across there. It's a good ball across. It's a simple tap in the end, but can Longley do more to actually get a foot to that ball? Obviously, he's worried about an own goal, but at the same time, just look at this angle here. It's played right across. You feel like he can stick his leg out there and just divert it. Just do something to get on the end of it. He knows somebody's behind him. Gerard Piqué's got to do more there as well. He's got to get back in. He's got to be more goal aware. He knows where the danger is. He can sense that. Surely he's got to get back in there. But again, it doesn't happen. And that's why you don't let it get that far. That's why you shut down the cross in the first place. You don't let it get to that stage. And you don't wait for our defensive mistake to happen. And this is the final one, guys. And this is the one for me which you look at Longley again, and this is not good enough. You look at that defensive line there, and if you saw that in a Sunday league level, you would have your coach saying, what on earth are you doing? That is not a line. That is chaos. You look at it there, there's three players, Piqué's trying to run back, the ball is being played at that point. Longley has to sense that danger. He has to step up. He knows that he's playing those two players onside there, and it's going to be a 2-against-1 situation. We could concede. He's got to sense the danger better than that. He simply has to. There's too many players there, all focused around the ball and not on what's going on around them. They're not tracking the men, they're not aware of the danger, and it's just basic defensive instincts that you've got to deploy, and you have to do better. And even here, if you actually watch this, unfortunately, I can't show the highlights due to copyright reasons, but if you actually watch this goal back, Longley could do more. He can sprint back here. He can get back in and actually put pressure on that ball, but he doesn't. He actually waits. He actually stutters. He doesn't get back in quickly enough. He hesitates, and suddenly, a guy is one-on-one. He takes it round Ter Stegen, and even then, Longley is hesitating. He doesn't track him all the way, and it's just that bit lack of intensity that's costing us in the vital moments. And we've just got to stop this kind of play, this kind of half-heartedness when it comes to defending. As a defender and as a midfielder, when you're looking to defend, you're either all there or you're not there at all. You cannot go into a 50-50 not believing, not wanting it. You can't put your leg out for a cross without genuinely wanting to stop that ball. As a defender, you have a duty to defend that goal, whatever it takes. You either want to defend or you don't. There's no in between. And what we're seeing sometimes out on that field throughout the 90 minutes, it is a long season, but there are times where these Barcelona players, they can just switch off just for a few minutes, and in the big games, it can cost you. Valverde has to get his message across. He's got to get it across loud and clear to the defenders, to the midfielders, and even the forwards in the big moments. Everybody in this team must play their part to sort out our defensive problems. And so that was just my take, guys, on our defensive problems. Not just yesterday, it's been right throughout the season. I think we got very, very good defenders, and don't get me wrong, we got very, very good players at this football club, but there are just those moments that if we just tighten up, a bit more intensity, a bit more urgency in the way that we go about our defensive play right throughout the team, it could transform our season. It could be the difference between us winning the Champions League or just missing out due to leaking goals. We don't want to go down that road. We want this season to be a massive success. It comes from the coach to every single player, and I really do believe that if we can sort this out, it will be special for us. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think right now we need to do in terms of our defensive play? What is going wrong? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I will see you soon, of course, with more videos. It's Capital Ray Week. There's more coming up. But until next time, as always, Vesca El Barça.